you guys have got us. That would be great if you could let us know, because then we can have confirmation that everything is back up. Hopefully, we've got the cameras all working once again. I believe we are into Matt's turn 2 right now.
We are. So what ended up happening at the end of Callum's turn, he ended up charging those screamers on that bottom right objective, but then Matt heroic'd in some horrors to try and steal back the primary. A very good play there.
Yeah.
Ended up stealing the primary, getting a 10 going into his turn. Callum ended up getting the big 6 on containment and getting that area denial.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the turn, Matt spent 1 CP to pick up some flamers and then use some flux token and I think an extra CP. Not quite sure on the specifics of the rules there, but to lift up the big bird as well. So we're right now just finishing up Matt's turn 2 movement phase.
Yep.
And it does look like the lone op combi lieutenant did reactive move back behind in that central ruin.
Yeah, right. Okay. Smart play from Callum. 100% called it. But yeah, it's really solid. I'm just trying to get one of our switches working right now, ladies and gentlemen. Shouldn't take us too long. Just got to reboot it. Nah, it's all good. No, I do not know. That would be why. I know exactly why it's not connecting. Because turns out when your PC decides to shit the bed, decides it doesn't want to connect to everything else that it should. And therefore, we should be back. And hopefully continuing on the same YouTube side of things too.
So I think what Matt wants to really do on this turn 2 is kill that kill team off that top left objective, Callum's normal natural expansion, and put him on a 5. I think if Matt can do that, he's in a very strong position on the game with the board position he's managed to get.
Yep, definitely. All right, let's turn this to public. Okay. So, chat, there is... Oh, why does... Okay. So for those in the other YouTube chat... No, I just pasted it in multiple times. Not what I wanted to do. For those in YouTube, go to that link. And that's where the new side... Oh no, Gunny, that's no good to hear. So I'll wait for folks to transition across before we end it. I'll also do a thing where I'll end stream and it'll just redirect you guys.
Alright, it would never be a Warhammer stream without some technical issues.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It really wouldn't. So, yeah, we get through it. We get through it. We do the best we can. Yeah, we're back. We're back. So we're into turn 2. For Matt, I will just get that going. I need to refresh that. I think we've got the active round, but yeah, some of the stuff is not picking back up. I will work tirelessly to get everything going, guys. Like, do not fret. I will test things out, make sure it's all working.
Yeah, and if any of those secondaries do look a bit funky on screen, just remember it is raised banners for this mission. So because of the software, we're just adding on those banners points to a random secondary as we go. So
yeah,
that should explain that.
Yeah, so it looks like Matt is currently on 3 CP and Callum is on 1. So we'll see that hopefully update on there. So if I jiggle around with that. Hopefully that updates the turn. It should do. It is not for some reason. Wild. Okay. We'll figure it out, guys. We know it's turn 2 at least. So I will get the overlays updated for you guys so it's going to be working properly. But yeah, full computer resets are not fun. Not fun at all, and I'm trying not to harp on it. Alright.
Alright, looks like we're just getting into the reinforcement step of Matt's turn, bringing those flamers down. Probably at this point just to keep Callum's rapid ingress or deep strikes at bay.
So that, yep, cool. We are on turn 2. Yeah, really interesting. So if we have a look, so the Calidus is actually in a different position than we thought it was going to be, because it's now down in the bottom middle.
Yeah, it was
here.
Originally going to screen out the backfield, but I think he achieved that with just a little tweaking of those 3 units.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So we are definitely on turn 2. What I'll even do, I'll even hide that for a second so you guys aren't too confused and thinking we're on turn 1. No, we're on turn 2. Just look at the indicators on the right-hand side of the screen, ladies and gentlemen. The arrows denote which turn it is and what player turn is currently active, who's got the top and the bottom of the turn as well for you guys. Alright, so just seeing some attacks coming in here, and it looks as though it's into the unit that was down here, which was the infiltrators with the librarian by looks, and it looks as though that was pink horrors going into it. And just have a look if I can swap to that dice camera. It should work. There we go. Yeah, it was. There's those horrors into just down right in front. So we'll see how much damage Matt is able to achieve here.
I think the key thing is he's probably going to be able to knock Callum down to a 5. Getting rid of a whole unit and one piece is certainly great, but those horrors, once they start splitting and then they get bigger and bigger, it becomes a real problem to deal with if you can't one-shot them efficiently.
Yeah.
And I do think Matt's put one little screamer out on the centre objective as well, just to bait Callum out to needing to deal with it and exposing himself, or risk giving Matt a big 15 as well.
Yeah, quite possibly. We'll have a look on the top down here in a second. Yes, it is a screamer. It is a screamer that is on the midfield.
So just one of those little early push units, bait out a bit of movement, and then hopefully get Matt's flamers into whatever Callum brings out to deal with it.
Yep, for sure. For sure. All right.
So how's your poll going, Scotty?
The poll was up on the previous one. I will make sure that we are updated correctly for the stream stuff on both sides. Because I don't think it's stuck. It is Deathwatch.
And I suppose an interesting note about all the terrain. So these aren't exactly to the last inch, the same as GW.
Yeah.
Adelaide specifically over in Australia, we've got a big stockpile of terrain that we've used over a number of years. And we just so happen that most of them fit the GW layouts, which was great for us, not needing to build new terrain, but you know, some footprints are just that little too big. You can see maybe the little 2-inch ruin type squares. Then it's based on some of the larger ruins being a slightly larger footprint.
Yep.
But it's still a very, very close approximation to what true GW is.
Yeah, 100%. And Dante in chat's just saying that he's using the pink horrors to puppeteer into them with shooting.
Oh, that is brilliant. So
bypasses the lone op because the unit that's doing it's within 12.
Excellent.
So does the job there, which is really nice. And we can see that Kairos has actually moved up to being behind here as well with the other Lord of Change that's big movements. Two, like, they were up in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah. One of them did get lifted in the sky, though, so
Okay.
it would have been a deep strike. I'm just waiting for the time where I think Scintillating Legion have a strat just like our Kool-Aid Dreads where they can move through walls.
Quite possibly.
Maybe that's what the Demon Prince is
wanting
there for.
Yeah, wanting to do that with. So let's have a look at Scintillating Legion. I'm pretty sure it does. To just... no, not Flicker Reality. Impossible Equips, no. Pyrogenesis, no. Flicker Fire, no. Yeah, Fateborn Realities, 1 CP. Movement phase or charge phase. You can use a unit you can't see for Puppeteer. Super strong. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, definitely, because you can't... The Lord of Change definitely can't see the pink horrors that are right there. So, yeah. 1 each Demons unit. Move through terrain features when it goes to make a move. Super strong.
So when it's that go turn and he wants to get those flamer shots out there, he can send in the Prince and use it twice. Once in the movement, once in the charge, I guess.
Yep, 100%. So yeah, definitely agree, Dante, that it is unlike Fire Prisms who need to see each other to do it. So you've got to expose 1 Fire Prism at least. Is why you often see them taken in 2s and 3s. So realistically, do we have the updated... We'll go to the... If I can grab this real quick. Go to the expanded here. Don't have any turn 2 secondaries in there at the moment, but that's okay.
I did put them on the screen.
Okay, interesting. So I will double check the actual source, because that could be the issue here. Just got to make sure that it's outputting correctly to the right location, because if it doesn't do it, then it doesn't update. So...
Looks like we're just heading into Callum's turn 2, actually. So a bit of a more passive turn. Callum kept his 10 points for primary, it looks, with that top left objective. Still got plenty of Marines on it. And it looks like he lifted up that...
there we go.
Kill team in the center.
Yeah, that'd be the Indomitor kill team. Welcome in, Disflux. Great to have you joining us. As is everyone who has joined us once again in both Twitch and YouTube chat. So great to have you guys all back. I know we've had a lot of tech difficulties, but we're getting through, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting through. So yeah, looking at this point, it's 24-23 going into Callum's turn. All right, so really interesting here. 33 apiece apparently. Brad's just updating things for us. So looks like Callum got a full 10 there. He did get 5 on area denial and 2 banners as well for containment to put him on those points. So it is tied right now. Matt did get 4 points on no prisoners, killing 2 units. By looks, it was killing the librarian and the librarian, as well as the infiltrators down the bottom here, was that. All right, so neck and neck right now, man.
Yeah, Callum's keeping pace. But I think that turn 1 draw really helped him. Getting that 11 secondaries, 2 banners, he's in a real good position now.
Yep.
So Matt might need to start making some moves next turn. Otherwise, with bottom of turn, Callum might have the momentum. Yeah,
definitely agree. So we just get, because by looks, everything is now updating correctly, thankfully. So if we do that, we are on turn 2. Cool. So I just had to reset the source, and we'll make sure everything's all good on that front for you. But yeah, so that Screamer is still alive on the middle objective there. If we got a look at actually, what do you call it, Callum's side of the field. We can see what is really going on. So He has got the...
They might be off the table, I think.
Potentially, or they're just going to be coming back in.
Yeah.
Chintweave, thank you so much for the 100 bolter rounds, 100 bits. Really appreciate it. Also, everyone who dropped the follow. Also, Chintweave with the Prime earlier. Really appreciate that, guys. Your support is greatly appreciated. Just following, sharing it with your friends. We're trying to get as many eyes on Australian Warhammer 40k here at the ATWN as we can. So yeah.
Yeah, and off it goes again. That little cheeky lone up is going to try and contest the centre and get that Screamer Killer off. And then as soon as Matt moves, he's going to jump straight back in.
Yep, 100%.
Looks like he might be setting up for a charge on the top
left. For sure.
Avoiding all the Overwatch, which is a great
the
move.
Deathwatch vets up here going in the Screamers. Not Screamers, sorry. The Flamers would be really good. Avoiding the Burning Chariot as well. Super important. I wonder what he's going to do with those Intercess... not the Intercess, the Indomitor killed... he does have the JPIs that are coming in, as well as the potentially that might be where the Indomitor kill team is because he did pick them up. So we may see him deploy it elsewhere. We'll see. Also, just needed to update the CP for the players because it looks as though they've got a lot more CP on our software than they do on the table. So I'm just going to try and get rid of the cameras here. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like 1 and 1.
Yeah.
I think it's easier looking at Callum's side for the CP, otherwise Matt's side you get to mix up with all those flux tokens. But it does seeing Callum's got the 2 1s, it looks like the blue dice on the top of Matt's side must be the flux tokens. That they have
quite
each.
possibly. Quite possibly. Talok, yes, I am very happy to see Deathwatch doing well, my friend. They've done really well this weekend. They did well at LVO as well, so really happy to see it all come back around for the Deathwatch after basically having their index and army completely removed from the game 6 months ago.
Looks like we're seeing some Dev Sense move in.
Some Centurions.
Yeah, they might be getting a line on one of those big chickens.
Oh,
I'd love to see them take that down.
I'm not sure they would, but it's basically going, I'm going to place Centurions here. If you want to come out and control this side of the field, I'm going to sit here. I've got range. I'm not sure what the range is on the Lord of Change. I'll find that out because that's actually super important.
Yeah. I think the Dev Sense are definitely going to outrange them.
Yeah, I have a gut feeling they would. It's also the fact that the enhancement to pick the unit as well. So the Pink Horrors mightn't be able to get within range of the Devastator Centurions to do stuff. In terms of the Lord of Change and shooting, it's all 18 inches or less. However, if we look at the Pink Horrors movement, they move 6. So if he was to do it, does it mean that the... I wonder, here's my question, Brad, is that if the unit advances, can you still pick them to do the Puppeteer?
Well, that is a very good question.
Nope, it is just you can, if you do, when selecting a target for ranged weapons equipped by the bearer, you measure range and determine visibility from one model of your choice in the selected unit instead.
Oh, that is super powerful.
So, those Pink Horrors that are right in front, quite possibly, and that's probably what he's figuring out now, is how far the Pink Horrors can move, and then the Lord of Change has to probably move here, pick the Pink Horrors, and then he's only got an 18-inch range from them. So that's probably what Callum's doing, is like he's probably setting them back. Yeah, they can eat up. Yeah, 100%. So the sense staging so far back is probably Callum going, well, you've got 18-inch range guns. You can move up to 12 with the Pink Horrors. How far away is that? I've only got a 30-inch range. Can I even get within, if I, put the Centurions 30.5 an inch out or 31 inches away, you actually can't hit them using that strategy.
Yeah, I'm not even sure overwatching them, even with Oath, would work. I asked Callan, he's putting the Oath target, looks like, on those Flamers.
Not surprising.
So that's good, where you definitely want to remove that piece.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the Deathwatch veterans, they've got damage 3, devastating wound hammers at strength 10, minus 2. The minus doesn't really matter here, but the dev wounds does, because if he gets the dev wounds, he's able to bypass Matt's armor save. Not armor save, sorry, invulnerable save.
Yep.
which is really solid. Damage 3, I believe the Flamers are 3 wounds apiece from the top of my memory. I will confirm that, guys. Let me find it real quick. Flamers. Flamers are 3 wounds apiece, so the hammers will be able to deal the damage to them.
Yeah, we are very much dealing in a flat 3 damage meta, where that is the most powerful thing going around, I think, other than maybe Scions, which I love.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Callum kind of engages with that. He does also have a Xenophase Blade, Strength 5 -2, only 1 damage, but he's Dev Wounds as well with 3 attacks, so he's got a bit more potential there. And then just a whole bunch of other Strength 5 -2, 1 damage attacks going in. So the Flamers themselves are T4, so you know the hammers are wounding on 2s, the swords will be wounding on 3s, which is really nice. And we can see that the Spectra's kill team itself is actually moving up right now. And moving on to basically going, if you want to try and do anything here, it's kind of screening out the deep strikes. And basically, you know, I'm not sure how many models he's actually got left in that unit. That is the thing I would like to know. Looks as though it's taken some damage. But if we zoom in a little bit, keeping the quality, there's what, 6 models in the unit and the lieutenant.
Okay.
So still 7 models there. So still enough to do something with. I believe it's just mainly the combat guys that are left. And now over this left-hand side, real quick, we see Callum bringing in some of the jump pack intercessors. Really going, well, cool. If I really want to, I can, you know, I'm out of that side to see, you know, you have to really get the pink horrors around that corner or expose them.
Yeah, I think it's also there to stop any of Matt's up-downs as well, because he wants to push the Calidus back, keep it back behind that central ruin and project that Vectora.
Yep. Definitely agree that that's probably how he's wanting to engage there. And then we're seeing that second Indomitor kill team coming out to deal with that Burning Chariot. Obviously, he does have those Eradicators front and center down over here that are going to be able to do it. So as we can see, he's just positioning them nicely. The Eradicators at the front, then Aggressors, then all the Bolt Rifles falling in behind that. Just kind of project that 9-inch field. Go, you can't deep strike here, kind of extend out that range.
Exactly what you want to do. So I think, trying to figure out where he's going to get Storm Hostile. Must be that center objective, getting rid of that Screamer.
Probably. The combi weapon's not too bad. It is only the 1 shot, but I wouldn't also be surprised if he decides to go, I'm just going to go in for combat. I mean, the Lieutenant's already scored him a bunch of points. It'll allow him to get Storm Hostile, but it could be, if we have a look at the Screamers, because I think there might be only OC1 on the Screamers. Yeah, they are. I'm pretty certain.
OCing them regardless.
I think the Lieutenant is OC2. I will search it up. No, he is only OC1 himself.
So that Screamer does need to be removed from the field. And
Yep.
It does look like he's going to ditch engage. He's really staying in his his half of the board.
I don't find that too surprising, though. With both players having pick up, put down strats, uppy downy, to use the colloquialism, you know, screening out your side of the field to stop any potentials of your opponent from doing that to you is quite important there. So
yeah, you can certainly see what we were talking about before. They've swung that whole board state into proper hammer and anvil. They've got a very straight line each, and they're just trying to trade little skirmish blows over the center, and it's a matter of who pokes out first.
Yeah, 100%. And so to answer Reagan's question in chat, the combi weapon Lieutenant does have the grenade keyword. So the grenade, he could 100% spend his CP and grenade before even trying to shoot, and it could actually kill that Screamer without even having to actually expose the Lieutenant, which is another option as well. So using a different resource to try and get it. Alternatively, he could also use the shooting from the Spectra's kill team. It's not much, but
probably enough to get the job done.
Yeah, from memory, the Screamers might be only a few wounds, so I think it's only going to be their 3 wounds at T4. So Smoothie, yes, Callum has been on a fair amount, but that's because he was in, he was the only undefeated Deathwatch player day 1, and then he's been on twice today because of the top cut. So this is the top table, and we do focus only on the top cut after it occurs. And so, yeah, this is the championship round, basically. So we're seeing the Indomitor kill teams coming down, basically right next to where the jump pack intercessors are. So they're going to be able to also shoot that screamer.
Excellent. Now, do you think anyone's going to try for a charge into those horrors at the end of this phase?
I wouldn't put it past the jump pack intercessors, because what it would do is horrors aren't particularly great in combat, whereas they just pit you because they split into blues and then they split into pinks. Basically. Hecabus, there was 180 players that started the tournament on day 1. I'm not sure how many we're down to now after drops, but there's still a decent number of gamers out there playing that we can see. Got an Earth Deathwatch to get some variety, Russell. No, we only just got him back. Please don't.
Yeah,
let's
too
not.
soon. They need to go back in the bin.
No, don't nerf my boys, please. Not my boys. I love me my Deathwatch. But no, I think where he is kind of positioned, that Indomitor kill team is really good, because it kind of goes, cool, you want to continue to press out in the middle. I'm going to have the unit there that is going to be able to be the toughest to deal with you if your Demon Prince decides, I'm just going to YOLO through.
Yes, definitely.
Alternatively, he's also got the other Indomitor kill team up the top to stop Matt's push across this flank. And so he's able to really shore up his defenses, which is really nice. We are seeing a rapid ingress right now from Matt, bringing in a unit of 6 flamers just down below here. So wondering, he's just getting the positioning right. So does make that charge in the pink horrors a little bit less desirable.
It does, because then you're not really knocking off the primary flamers can shoot into combat, and you're basically trading down at that point in time.
Yes.
And you're also risking the heroic, depending on
Very
who's
true.
charging what, and yeah.
Yep.
It could be a game-winning mistake or a game-winning move.
Yep, 100% agree there. So it's good to be aware of that. So we have got, geez, that Indomitor kill team stretched out a lot further than I thought it was. It is fully across here, basically. I know I've overstretched it, but yeah, basically the end of it is here, and it goes down and around. That's the Indomitor kill team, with the captain not in sight. I'm not sure if that's the captain's one or not. I'll have a look on the other camera, so it's not there. Nope, there is no captain in that unit, so I actually think the captain is in the other unit. We've got some attacks coming in from Callum. Wonder what those are going into. Still think charging the pinks is a mistake. Slowly pulls casualties from the back, splits onto the point. 100% Reagan as well. Like, just splitting to put more makes sense.
Yeah, definitely diminishing returns there. One thing I have noticed is they're both at 1 or 0 CP. Turn 2, usually like you have that CP reserved to really push the button on the go turn, but they're not messing about with all the abilities that they need to use.
Yeah, so I would say that Matt is down to 0 CP because he did a rapid ingress there. So this is more than likely, and I don't like speculating, a bucket of shots. So I feel like this could be the Centurions or one of the Indomitor kill teams doing some shooting. Not sure what their targets would be. I think the Centurions, if they were to shoot, they'd be going into the pink horrors or the screamers. It would make sense because the Centurion missile launches a blast. So with 10 in the unit, the D3 shots plus 2. So you're putting out a total of 6 D3 plus 12. Which is a lot of shots.
It is, but whether it does it or not, I would have felt much more comfortable oathing the horrors just to really try and kill that in that single activation.
Yeah, well, actually you don't need to, because Centurions, if a unit is on an objective, they get full rerolls to hit.
That's right, yes.
So they actually don't need oath support.
That is, that's why I don't play Marines.
Yeah, that is very fair. So we're seeing some flux dice here being used by Matt. So by looks, there was only one failure there. I wonder where that was. Or one reroll. That was Callum, actually. Now we're seeing the saves. So we've got, by looks, 5 failures there. I will just adjust the dice cam a little because when you reboot a computer, it decides that I'm going to reset all my settings.
Yep, and you're right, definitely into those horrors.
Yeah,
looks like
right.
it might be down to one single horror there.
Oh, that's not good.
All right.
And then he gets the opportunity to split.
Yep. I think, has he made the split roll? I'm not sure. Maybe that was the split roll we're looking at right now.
Quite possibly, he could have made it. To see, yeah, he's putting him in, so that was probably the split roll there. Good call, Brad. So Centurions would still have the las cannons to go, I believe, so he'd be able to...
At that point, you know, they're less shots, high damage. You really want that volume to go into them.
Yeah, well, considering they're the same models, you declare all the weapons at once. So if you had to shot the las cannons, you still fire the missiles anyway.
Correct.
Because they've got this on the model, so... Still really good, but great spot there for the Centurions to really put the punishment on those pink horrors. I think, yeah, might be only 1 or 2 left in the unit. If we have a look at them. Yeah, it looks like there is only the 1 pink. You are right.
Yeah. Now, interesting thought. The impact mortals from the JPIs. Do they trigger the last split? Do horrors only split on an attack? Because then things like grenades and other mortal wound sources don't trigger some of those abilities.
No, that is true. That is true. We can definitely have a look at that. And also, some of the guys in chat might also know. Curie from StatCheck might be fully aware, and a few others. I always love having people in chat also answer those kind of questions. So... it should be under mortal. No, it'll be split. Because if you look for
where's on the horror data sheet?
Splitting units. Some abilities units allow to split.
Yeah, it looks like Curie's just
impact mortars don't trigger. Thank you,
yes.
Curie. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, good sir.
Yeah. I always like those sorts of ones because with my tank commander, I always knew grenades couldn't trigger my shoot on death, and it made me very upset. Yep.
So we've seen the reactive move now from the Spectre's kill team after they did the shots, and by looks, they've gotten rid of the Screamer in the center.
Beautiful. That's exactly what they want. And that lone op is going to yeet back behind that ruin and hopefully keep doing that all game.
Yeah, 100%. If he's just able to use that 70-point character to just hold the middle of the board consistently for the rest of the game, then that is really solid.
So what else does Callum have off the board at the moment? Is it just the JPIs, not discounting any other up-downs?
It would just be the 1 unit of JPIs right now. Thanks.
Appreciate you, Curie.
Yeah, really do, brother. And the work you guys at StatCheck do really does help us out, not just in the ELO space of knowing ELO rankings, but also all the singles data as well and win rates and such. You guys do a phenomenal job. So we're starting to see some shots from the bottom Indominate kill team. By looks, he is going to be shooting into... By looks from his hand movements, I won't assume, he was suggesting of doing some shots down here and here as well. Quite possibly. Just from where I was, seeing where he was pointing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see where Matt pulls the models and what was shooting at what. Okay, so it looks as though it was going into the Screamers that are sitting down. Or is that the Flamers there?
No, I think it was a unit of 3 models. Has to be the Screamers.
Yeah, it is the Screamers that were placed there, so... 100% Curie, 100% agree that, we wouldn't have all the info, we wouldn't have the streams and that if the guys didn't put on the tournaments. So, yeah, you know, Adam and Josh and Simon have put on a wonderful event here at Uprising, and it's been an absolute privilege to be back to cover the event once again after covering it last year. So it's been a really, really great event. So we're starting to, you know, see how much damage is actually going to be put into these screamers. And that would also, to be fair, explain the positioning of the Indomitor kill team.
Yes, 100%.
Because he's probably put, and by looks, those are the heavy bolt rifles, those are the heavy bolters, or vice versa. So they would have had the angle to shoot onto those screamers where they were positioned.
And there is some Eradicators in the second half?
Yeah, they've got Eradicators and Aggressors.
Yeah, could that go and line down onto the chariot?
Potentially they could as well. Meanwhile, I did see that they had dropped in just before lunch as well. So, you know, depending on range here, they could also do some shots down that way too. So, we'll see what really happens here in terms of casualty removal. But it looks like only the one scream was currently taken. Now the Deathwatch are charging in. They're all to 7.
Excellent. Well, that's why they were oath. They really wanted to remove that flamer piece. Because I personally wouldn't like seeing those flamers up, down in my backfield. And it might also, if he rolled a big enough charge with his pile-in, to get engaged as well.
Quite possibly. You know, looking at the tipping point deployment real quick.
I think it does. It's just over halfway.
Yeah, it would. So where that terrain feature is, basically the line right here is the midpoint. So he is with the pile-in, probably with a consolidation, if he kills the unit, he might be able to get in even further.
Well, maybe not the consolidate, because you have to go towards engagement range of a unit or an objective, so they might be stuck with the consolidate.
Sam, unfortunately, we don't have player mics for this round. There's some reasons as to why. I'm not going to get into it on stream, but we made the active decision to not mic up this game.
There's always some things out of our control, and we just do the best we can to bring the best coverage. Yeah,
100%. And I really appreciate Brad jumping on ad hoc, jumping in his second chair whilst we don't have the player mics. Oh, 4 out of 4 saves by looks there.
Ooh.
But so let's see. So only 1. So it looks as though he's not doing the hammers just yet.
Yeah, he's just shifted it off the terrain piece, I think. That was his intent, to make sure he got the engagement.
Yeah, by looks, that's the pile-in. And so I think that's going to be the regular attacks. Oh no, that's Matt's attacks back. So by looks, he just used the movement. Matt probably rolled hot on his saves. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like any dev wounds came through the hammers there.
Very unfortunate. You're still scoring points. That's not the worst thing in the world, but you've effectively traded a resource for nothing at this point. Or a resource for 2 points. Not the best result Cullen was hoping for, I think, there.
Yeah, 100%. So, but, you know, to get some points on engage is super important.
And it does push out the screen for any other up-downs that might occur.
Yep, so it looks like we're swapping over the turn here, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going into turn 3 right now. And Brad's just going to jump in and do secondaries and stuff. So I'll be over here with you guys for a second, just solo. So Brad's been very kind to jump in. He's helping T.O. a bit earlier. Did see him on camera a couple of times as well. So we do have the pass the turn. Over and into turn 3. So we'll see what points, but if we go to the expanded scorecard here now, ladies and gentlemen. Callum scoring 10 on primary, getting 2 on engage and 4 on storm hostile. Perfect. That's what you want. He's now on 39 points compared to Matt, who is on 43, and that includes his turn 3 primary. Yeah, nice, Jim Tag. That's awesome to hear, man. Yeah, Brad's definitely a great guy, for sure. So, looking at things in terms of command points, the CP looks to be quite off So I'll just update that. So it should be 1 and 1 apiece by looks. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how things look. So if we look at the current secondary, so Matt drew Defend Stronghold and Establish Locus. So Defend Stronghold is probably going to be pretty easy to maintain for Matt. Establish Locus is going to be the tough one. I think this has to be Matt's go turn. He has to try to expose some stuff here to really get in and do some stuff. Looking nice for Deathwatch. Hopefully they can take the whole thing. Every time they win a big tournament, Josh Roberts adds another nerf to the slate. Ash, don't say that, please. Don't tell me. I like my Deathwatch, please. Please and thank you. Let me keep my Deathwatch. Please. I love my Deathwatch. And Brad is back with us.
Right. Hello everyone again. So, it looks like Matt didn't pick up anything at the end of last turn. And as we were discussing before, it looks like Matt's using the CP to move the Demon Prince through walls.
Yep, not surprising there. So he's down to 0 CP now. Using the only CP that he's got for the turn.
He might have got it back with a regen. I think he might have a enhancement.
Yes, he does. He does have the enhancement, so he could potentially get it back. We'll see if the building's put back. Now, the Indomitor kill team did put some damage on that Flamer. That flaming chariot down on the bottom right there. And they were able to, I think it's only got 7 wounds left. And the one on the top is also gone. Excellent. So the Indomitor kill team has just come in and just railed it. And just absolutely destroyed it. So it looks as though it is only 1 CP for Matt now. So he must have regened it. Quite possibly. I'll give it a second to see. Gino will have their hands full. United. Yep. Eldari look good. They look real good.
Unfortunately, I thought they were going to be in the naughty corner for a long, long time, but maybe not.
No, I think they've paid for their sins now, and they're going to come back with a vengeance.
Very well, and at least their new models look quite good. So
yes,
this would be a fun hobby for the hobbyists out there.
Yes, definitely. Some of the content creators like Vanguard Tax and Stephen Box have been painting up a bunch, and a few others look phenomenal so far. Like I eventually want to do like a Yunari force as well, and just grab everything that's Eldari and have at her. We'll see if that happens or not, because finances, but yeah.
I know it's a part of the game, but I know, what is it, Vic VJ, he ran a Wraith Knight at Nottingham.
Yep.
I want to see him run 3 just for the memes.
Oh, 3 for the memes. Goodness gracious. But yeah, so we are in turn number 3 here, halfway through the game. I will actually do a quick clock check for you guys to see how the clocks are looking for both players. So currently, we've got 46 minutes for Matt, 27 minutes for Callum.
Ooh, that's getting a bit tight. You'd want that maybe on turn at the end of Callum's turn 3, to be honest. So
yeah,
he's going to have to pull out all stops and not overthink things. I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, screening takes time, but one of the biggest things that I think players can do, that we see at the higher level a lot, is use your opponent's time to think.
Yes. Think, pre-measure, what do you need to do, where are their threats, and you can plan out your turn during your opponent's movement, and it's very valuable.
And it saves time. It saves time is the important thing. And yes, you can adjust your plan a little bit depending on what your opponent's decided to do, but at the same time, most of the time for things like screening, like having, the backfield and all that you can measure out pretty straightforward during your turn as well. Yeah, 100% agree, Bren. Demon Prince coming out, big damage on this guy. He's going to just absolutely do some work.
Yeah, and interestingly on the last game, apparently he can take a lot of damage too. He took a whole tank commander to the face without a single wound.
Whew.
So
I don't even want to think about that. Yeah, so really, really big. So yeah. The other thing that we haven't checked in on is how the polls went in chat. So the predictions on Twitch is very tight.
Neck and neck.
47 to 53 Demon's way. And on YouTube side, we did have it on the other stream. I do apologize. But if you want to let me know who you guys think is going to pull out this one, feel free. between Callum or Matt here. So
this is very much the turn where the little side skirmishes really turn into big unit trades, and
yes.
the course of the game really gets decided.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100% they are. You know, we look at, you know, even just positioning, falling back, or not falling back, sorry, the movement of the Screamers going to the midfield. Of course, Lieutenant's already reactive moved. So, you know, denying that primary whilst also maintaining that he has got primary. We look up the top there, and those Deathwatch vets, I feel like, are about to kind of get a little punked. Because that'd be Screamers. So, from memory, Screamers have got a move.
Yeah, you move over them and you
do
Mortals. Ditch out Mortals. Yeah.
So I'm pretty certain they can do that, even though they're in combat.
Yeah. Honestly, that's why I like Custode's bikes. I think there's a little bit of juice there that people haven't explored there. With triple bikes and some captains, so you can do some mortals where you fly over or into the fight phase.
Yep.
Do the captain's move if he's attached to a unit, and you know, diff some mortals. So
yep.
You know, Custodes players, it doesn't have to all be dreads. There's some spicy bike tech around.
Yes, definitely. And the increase in damage output on the salvo launchers, as well as their toughness, increases as well. Definitely helps with that.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I do like the Hurricane Bolters on some of the bikes. If we're in an infantry-heavy meta, I was always very disappointed by the salvos, personally.
Yeah. That is fair. That's very fair. So just swapping over cameras here. So we're seeing that Burning Chariot move up now. Just kind of gonna see if it. Yeah, we're gonna see it be used as a shooting point into the Indomitor kill team for the Lord of Change there. Depending on how close the Lord of Change is, because I think it's 9 inches from memory when I was looking at it. It is 9 inches, so that keeper has to move closer. Which means that if he moves into the terrain...
he becomes visible to those Centurions?
Yes. Which is a big thing. Definitely a big thing indeed.
Looks like that was an advance on maybe some horrors?
Yeah, it's the second unit of pink horrors. So he's starting to bring out the resources. I think he's stickied his back objective.
He has, you know, that turn one with the Plague Bearers, I think, before they advance out into that ruin. Yeah,
so during the command phase, do it. I mean, Callum's done the exact same on his home with the Intercessors, so it's pretty important to make sure. 9-inch advance there, or 9-inch movement, I should say.
There you go, still screening.
So, Sam, we were talking about the Keeper for the Scintillating Legion. Not the Keeper, sorry, the Lord of Change. My mind is on Slanesh for some reason.
They're very confusing. They get into your mind.
Yes, they do. They do. The changer of ways be fickle. Yes, I did definitely mean the Lord of Change, guys. It's been a long weekend. This is the 8th game. Even commentators get tired. It's a lot of 40k to keep track of, not just multiple games, but also how everyone else is tracking in rankings and all that other fun stuff.
And then game 8, you have... you know, Scintillating Legion, this left field detachment, and then you have Deathwatch as well. You know, not the most simple factions to keep track of sometimes.
Yep. So Matt, it is Deathwatch do have a side-to-side teleportation strat, so an up-y-down-y strat. 1 CP, you pick up a unit and move it across and deep strike it outside of 9 inches away from every enemy unit. Yes, it is, Scott. Our mic's always on Slash. You're hilarious, mate. Sam, you are hilarious. I think it needs to be within 12 of the Chariot, who needs to be within 12 of the Indomitor. 18 of the Indomitor. So the Chariot needs to be within 18 of the Indomitor, but the Lord of Change needs to be within 9 of the Burning Chariot to be able to do that. Which means you would have to expose it.
I'm not sure Matt's quite ready to do that. You know, they're big, tough units with a lot of speed that can get around the board turn 4 and start denying primary.
Yep.
I don't think he wants to throw all his resources out the window just yet.
No, I definitely don't think he does. I don't think he wants to overexpose it just yet. Especially with the Centurion still at full strength as well. Despite, you know, Lord of Change, defensive profile is actually pretty strong. So I
think he's 20 wounds, 4 up invo.
Yep. Yep, that sounds about right.
T11.
So T10, 18 wounds.
Oh, I'm probably thinking of Kairos.
Yes. 4 up invulnerable save. Does have deep strike, so very easily can be picked up.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. His Bolt of Change, which is his main ranged weapon. Psychic, he can choose, and this is probably the profile he's going to use. 9 shots at hitting on 2, strength 9, -2, flat 3, D3 damage. He's probably going to use that profile against the Indominate Kill Team because they are 3 wounds apiece at T6, so they're wounding on 3s. He also gets to pick whether he does ignores cover, lethal hits, or sustain D3.
Or sustain sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Clamors, unfortunately, I've not gotten that done. When I was about to go and do it, the stream crashed, so we could definitely get that sorted for you guys. It would just take me a couple of minutes. We did have Callum's link pinned at the last stream. It's also up in the ATWN Discord, but I'll get those sorted now for you guys. Take us a couple of minutes, and I'll do that off mic as well, just so then we can get that all sorted out for you guys. And we'll be back. Well, I'll be back. I'll let Brad take over for a little bit here.
Cool, I've been left all alone here, guys. First time helping out Scotty, first time streaming as we help out the Uprising guys, so hopefully I'm not too painful to deal with. So I don't know in chat, any Deathwatch players out there, you're rooting for them, who did you want to win Uprising? Yeah, lay it on me. Any questions?
So it does look like there's some shooting going on from Matt here. I'm still here, guys. I'm just at the computer, just muted, is all. So, yeah.
It looks like there is some shooting happening from Matt at the moment. I'm not quite sure who it's targeted into. Might be in that kill team on the left, or it could be shooting into combat, because he does not look like he fell back with those flamers. Oh, interesting. Onto the objective, even better. Looks like he's trying to put Callum down to a 0, only a 5 on primary if he can, but I'm not sure he'll be able to do it with the firepower he has. Oh, thanks, Sam. I got a fresh haircut just for you guys, completely by accident. So I don't know about anybody else, but I'm kind of disappointed Guard went on stream on the final table. They are the, apart from my wife, the love of my life. I almost made a big mistake there, so hopefully she caught that if she was watching this, but we never know. So I'm not sure about anybody else, but when I did see Matt Morrisoli's list, I was very confused, going, who in their right mind would play Zinch, but the more that I've seen it over the past couple of days here, I'm starting to understand why. Even getting past the first shock value of how does this faction work, there's actually quite a lot of power in the list. It's really quite good and plays the game. It's very fast, very flexible. Packs a lot of damage. How do you think the Deathwatch is doing, Scotty? Do you think they're in a position to win and have enough momentum, or they might run out of steam?
I think the Deathwatch are in a pretty good spot, I'll be honest. They've still got a lot of their big bricks, so it's really difficult to deal with a lot of T6 stuff at the one time. The Demon Prince is a good weapon to deal with it. However, I think that it's only one resource, and then by charging in, he will expose it to the Centurions as well.
Yeah.
So as we can see, we got some shooting going into the Centurions, not Centurions, the Indomitor kill team right now. And so we'll see how much damage is able to be done to that unit. But it looks like the aggressors are still there, as are the eradicators. Yeah, man, Wild, 100% agree. Like, sometimes, you know, you just know a list and you do really well with the list. We did preview it. It was a really interesting list. I was super happy to get it on stream to be able to show it for you guys.
Yeah, Tyler is one of the nicest guys in 40k as well. I remember playing him at Uprising last year. Played him at ATC. He's a Necron specialist from a long time ago. I think he might be captain of Tassie as well this year.
Oh, nice.
He definitely was last year, so he does know what he's doing. He's a faction specialist for sure.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, good. You know, it's good to have him on stream for 2 streams.
Yeah.
Or 2 games,
Sometimes
I should
say.
say.
It's a bit jittery and the clock can come away from you when you're on stream, but them's the break sometimes.
Oh, 100%. 100% it happens. So...
I'm curious if Callum will ever put Oath on a target he would like to overwatch in Matt's charge phase. Because just thinking that's Oath on the Flamers failed, maybe he could have put Oath on the Demon Prince and had the Centurions lined up.
Quite possibly. The thing is that with Overwatch, you've got to do it at the start of the move.
A start or end of a move? So
yes.
It doesn't have to be the start.
But
so he can play around. He can force the Demon Prince in an awkward spot, or the start of a charge as well.
Yeah, so that's more what I mean.
He could have watched Overwatch when the Demon Prince began his charge.
Yes, but he couldn't have done it when he finished, which was the important thing.
Yeah, but he was on the terrain piece, though.
Was he?
He was, so...
Interesting. Could have definitely made that work out for him, and we're seeing some more stuff happen. We're seeing not necessarily a reactive move, but just fix up of those Spectrus kill team up the top here that is still alive and kicking. They got 6 models now, but looks like the Flamers fell back, and now the Screamers are going into combat against the Deathwatch vets, which with their recent buffs, I don't think those Deathwatch vets are along for this world.
Yeah, I think they could be in a bit of pain. Now, I haven't read the full extent of the Demons list, but can they force any other battle shots in the command phase?
I will find out for you.
Chaos or anything of the like, because that could be another way Matt could force Callum down to a 5.
That's true. That is very true. Nope. Nope.
If anyone in chat has the answer, I'm just trying to speculate and understand demons as best I can at the moment.
Nope, it does not.
Okay.
It's not like the Nurgle detachment, which does.
Yeah, that one, that detachment is wild, to be honest. It's much more durable than you'd expect, especially if you have 60 Plague Bearers and, 3 Guos. It's a lot to get through.
Definitely is with the Great Unclean Ones, and we did see Ollie Johnson on stream with that exact list yesterday.
Yeah, I actually played into Ollie in the past on that exact list, and it's very infuriating.
It would be.
Yep.
It would be.
The match came down to me choosing to kill 2 Nurglings in 1 turn instead of across 2 turns, so I got a kill more.
Yep.
So I threw away a kill more, and that was the game.
Yeah, that'd do it.
The Zinch Herald, I thought there might have been something. Whether that's in his list, I don't know.
No, he doesn't have a Zinch Herald in this list. It's just Fate Weaver, Lord of Change, and Demon Prince. Those are the 3.
Oh,
yep, not surprised.
That is brutal. That is...
I am not surprised that the Demon Prince did that. Just 2 aggressors left that are going to punch back into the Demon Prince.
But at least they didn't wipe the unit, so he can't consolidate into the JPI. So
yes.
At least that got that unit's free to move.
100%. So we'll get some attacks back here. It'll be Strength 8 and Twin Linked, which will be really nice.
Yes, it is Matt Morrisoli.
Yes, it is. Raisu, it's pinned to the top of chat now for you. So just in one of the paste bins there.
So just looking at Matt's secondaries, I think Defend Stronghold's almost going to be a given at this point. And he presumably established in the centre with those Screamers.
Yep, quite possibly. Now, the one thing I did forget to reset back up is the round time for you guys. So we've got about an hour and a bit left on the clock.
71 minutes.
So they do have sports clocks up here that they've got going for all players.
All right, looks like we've just up down the calendars.
Not surprised, and we're getting some more points in there.
Excellent. I might go for a bit of a wander, have a look at the table, and adjust secondaries.
Yep, sounds good to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an interesting game so far. Very interesting game. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. So, it's been good. I want to thank everyone for tuning in this weekend, whether you're just tuning in for the final match or you've been watching since round one. Really appreciate it, guys. All of the games have been locally recorded as well, so despite the technical difficulties, despite the 2 PC restarts as well, we'll merge those videos together and get them out on our YouTube channel for you guys. If you've only caught part of the match or want to watch a full match, you'll be able to catch them there over the next few weeks when we get that done for you guys as well. So yeah, looks like we are going to be going into almost into Callum's turn. So the aggressors did some combat. So, yep, we've got the turn swap there. So we're now into Callum's turn 3. There we go. So Callum's on 1 CP, Matt is on 0 right now.
Alrighty, so we've tentatively put in defend for Matt, even though it does finish at end of Callum's turn, but I'm not sure we'll be able to interact with him, so we'll take it out if need be. Matt actually didn't do established locus, completely forgot, advanced the screamers by accident.
Right.
And it didn't click, so he's actually ditched locus. So that was a little bit of an oopsie. 2 points is, you know, not the biggest deal in the world, but if you lose by 2, oof.
Yeah.
And I think cleanse for Callum, that's good. Like, it does negate the damage that he might want to deal, but you know, the combi lieutenant can do it if those screamers are gone, and we can get something on the top left. It's a big 5. Bring it down. Does the chariot have the vehicle? It's a monster or vehicle?
I think it's either. Yeah, I'm not certain. I haven't really seen it in too many lists, but I will pull it up. The Burning Chariot, it is a mounted.
Okay, so it doesn't give up Bring It Down.
No, it does not.
So it's only the Lord of Change in Kairos, and I guess the Demon Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although the Demon Prince isn't quite as juicy points-wise.
Reagan, that is true. We're seeing oaths being placed down on the 1 remaining pink and blues down on this bottom objective here. If I can, I'm not on the right scene for this. There we go. Down here is the oath target, and we're seeing those JPIs advance. I'm not surprised he didn't pick up the Centurions.
Yep, they're in a safe position there, at least for now. And this is a huge opportunity for Callum, actually. He can potentially give Matt a 5 on primary and be in a very commanding position at the end of this turn.
Yes.
And knowing he's got bottom of 5, he could be well placed.
Yep. 100% agree. 100% agree. So, not surprised that the Deathwatch vets that were up there are dead.
No, not at all.
So they are currently missing, and yeah, we'll see what those Spectrus kill team are able to do.
Yeah.
I believe.
But the Overwatch threat from some flamers floating around is never a good thing.
Yep. The Indominate kill team was picked up from this bottom
Ooh.
left-hand corner
All right.
with the captain. So doing it for free. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
What do you think his game plan is for that, Scott?
I think, like, if it was me personally, looking at the overall board state, I would want to generate value.
Yes.
So you've already used your free stratagem for the battle round. It's a relatively tough unit, can do combat well, can do shooting really well. But I'm kind of screened out in different places. I have to come down. So do I want to reinforce the flank with my Centurions are and give up a flank where the Spectrus kill team is, let the Flamers and Screamers just have that. Fate Weaver might even move up into that area and go, okay, cool, I'm just going to take this side now.
Yep.
I don't think that Callum would want to give that up. We're seeing the Centurions move down the bottom left here, and they're definitely going to see the aggressors fall back because we're going to see them shoot into the Demon Prince.
It is an interesting thought, though, because giving up that flank, although it might sound bad, it could bait Matt. Bait Matt.
I got it. By pulling it out into the top up here.
Pulling it into the top, and then he can play in a triangle in turn 5 and really consolidate the 15 without overextending.
Yep, and focus, because it's end of turn scoring on the bottom of 5, really focus on getting those 3 objectives and just hold that side of the table, turn into a Dawn of War game. Yeah, that's definitely an option. Definitely an option. So we're seeing the Incursors move back a little bit on that objective. Just little positional movement from Callum there. The interesting thing I also want to check is clock time.
Yes, I was about to mention the same, because Callum was in a bit of a tight situation there.
So we're looking at 30 minutes for Matt, just under 20 minutes for Callum.
Oh.
So 10 minutes per turn. It's doable.
It's doable, but man, you've got to get on your bike.
Yes. We've also had the jump pack intercessors coming in this turn.
Excellent.
So that is the other thing that he has to bring in, and we're going to see those aggressors fall back.
Looks like that might have been a desperate escape.
Yeah.
Their battle shop.
Yep. By looks it was, and the wounded one is gone, which leaves the Demon Prince in the open, ready to be picked up. I would not be surprised. No, actually, we can't see that happen. He can't put any of the shooting stratagems for Deathwatch onto the Centurions. Centurions cannot be affected by it. So, because it's only mission tactics units that can get the bolt, the Kraken rounds, the Hellfire rounds, or the Dragon rounds.
I mean, I don't really feel sorry for Centurions myself. Not
No.
Buffs. They're pretty brutal, but
yes.
For Callum, just for Callum, I wish they did.
Yeah, so it'll force on the missiles to a 3-up save because of cover, and then the Lads Council will force it onto the 4-up invo. But it's still the potential for a lot of damage into the Demon Prince. The Demon Prince is only 10 wounds, but T10. I think it might also be -1 damage. I'll double check that as well, but...
Yeah, it looks like the Calidus was just tweaked a little bit to make sure it was within 12 of the Demon Prince to affect the Vector, so stop any silly rerolls and...
Yeah, so whilst it's in your...
That's exactly right, Dante. That's how I would have approached the turn personally. Don't give Sully the flux tokens to use and buff his army, and just focus on your own abilities.
Yep.
I think that's a very strong play into the Zeech build.
Yep, definitely agree. Definitely agree for sure. So, once per game, the Demon Prince can have a 3-up invulnerable save.
Ooh.
So I think against the Centurions, he is going to pop that.
For sure. For sure. And we saw last game, that's exactly how he survived a Lehman Russ demo tank commander.
Yep. And whilst another unit's within 6 inches, that unit has stealth. Which I believe also counts for himself.
Yes, it does. It does.
So that's definitely going to be interesting. We are seeing that Indominate kill team come back down in a very similar position here. Yes, it is a Foot Demon Prince, Reagan. So... unless this is the Demon Prince with wings. Did he put the Demon Prince in? I could be wrong. His list could be the Demon Prince with wings. It is the Demon Prince with rings. So I was reading out the wrong data sheet. So ignore that, chat. So basically, once per battle, the fight phase, he can get +3 attacks. And each time it's selected fight, he can either get lethal hits, precision, or sustained 1.
Yep. Who would have thought reading the rules solves a lot of questions?
Yep. As they like to say in the Magic sphere, but applied to 40k, reading the rule explains the rule. Yep. Much like reading the card explains the card.
That's for sure.
So we're seeing the JPIs come in on the midfield there.
Yep. Looks like they're probably just projecting out a threat and also protecting the Calidus from a cheeky Blade Bearer charge or something. Yes.
It's important to actually note that Calidus is on 2 wounds.
It is.
It is on 2 wounds now, so needs to definitely protect the protect that. So if I just get rid of that, back to the top down. So yeah, we're seeing some shooting now coming in. See how much is actually going to get done. There's one failed save somewhere by looks. Yep, it's on the flamers up in this side of the field. So I'll actually swap cameras here. And we'll go over to that side of the field for you guys. So you can see what's going on where. So let's see how much he's able to force here. He's able to remove 1 and 1 is on a wound. Yeah, it could be possible, Reagan. Could be very possible.
I think there was only 1 pink left.
1 pink,
so
yeah.
There's no more splits.
No, they do split again.
Oh, into the
brims.
Brims, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So mortal wounds and you know, those tactics are definitely in play.
Yep, 100%. So those flamers are basically dead, and they probably got shot to death from the Indomitor kill team. Which is really solid. So we're going to see some other shooting now. By looks, it is from the JPIs into the what do you call it? Into the horrors, and I think that was a grenade because Callum actually has no CP. So 0 CP now with that grenade going in. This is a really close game. And the thing is that Callum is just ahead by 3 points right now with no secondaries this turn.
It is correct.
So
importantly, he does have to finish his turn 5.
Yes, that is the important thing.
We finish our games, I don't know what the word is, like cohesively, constructively, and
to the end.
To the end.
To a natural conclusion.
That's the exact phrasing I was looking for. We play the best Warhammer we can, but
yep, 100%.
Sometimes the clock's the clock.
Yep, definitely agree. Alright, so it looks like they're all hits. A couple of wounds there. So we'll see what saves we get and where that's damage going in. So by looks 3 failed saves. So is that going to be into... That's another screamer gone.
Yeah. I do wonder now with the placement of those JPIs if that lieutenant can't reactive move back into the building.
So that was... So I think that was actually the shooting from potentially the JPIs. Or it could have been... maybe some other shooting from elsewhere, maybe from the Spectrus kill team up in the top left. They were just doing the same thing as what they did last time, applying shots onto it with lethal hits, get the job done, and then allow the lieutenant to then cleanse.
Yes.
Get some more points there, because then, but at the same time, they've got for the mission rule for this one.
I think it's raised. Banners?
It is banners.
Yeah.
So there's no ability for battle line and stuff to do extra stuff. So could have also been the heavy bolters from the Indomitor kill team, quite possibly. They could have shot everything else in the heavy bolters down there. Gotten rid of the Screamer to allow double cleanse.
Yeah, much more value with the double cleanse. 2 versus 5 is a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like the Dim Prince down to 4 wounds now. And I think we've still got the some more shots going into it. Let's see if he's able to kill the Demon Prince. Because if he's able to kill the Demon Prince, that's big.
That is huge. That's the threat on his backfield dealt with, except for any up-downs, but the board position would definitely be Cullen's at this point.
The pickups aren't available to Matt because he doesn't have the CP.
Even better. Unless he can do it. Can he do it for free with any of the abilities?
Potentially with Kairos, but that is my best guess. I'll have a look at Kairos. No, Kairos doesn't have that ability, so... Josh, there is a reason we don't have them, unfortunately. We won't go into it, though. Yeah, there is no way to be free. Kairos has got a refund, not a free spend. No, they are just different colours, Beal. Different colours.
Yeah, don't worry, there was some very thorough battle-ready checks in round 1
Yep.
by all the judges.
That they were. And Forge Miniatures, thank you so much for the 3-month tier 1 sub over on Twitch. Really appreciate that, my friend. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I do my best to not speculate in these kind of situations, ladies and gentlemen. I just see what the rolls happen.
Rip a 9-inch charge with those JPIs.
Oh!
Oh, that is going to be huge. Do some impact mortals.
Impact mortals.
Oh, we love to see it.
And he gets 3.
Oh.
So that Demon Prince is now on 1 wound.
Oh, it's going to happen, Scott. I believe.
There is a Power Fist in there. So that is wild, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a Demon Prince on 1 wound left from Impact Mortals from the JPIs. They've got a bucket of attacks. They just need 1 to get through.
It can happen. Anything with volume is one of the toughest of things.
Yep, the JPIs are, you know, they've got a lot of attacks. Strength 4 minus 1 damage, though.
I mean, you only need 1 damage.
Yep. Did we just see the Power Fist and the Power Fist failed?
Alright, bit harder now, but...
Yeah, these are the chainswords. So the Power Fist whiffed. Let's see if the chainswords are able to at least convert something here. There's single 6.
Alright, can he do it? Ooh.
Oh, makes the save. Okay. Now the Demon Prince is going to pick up those JPIs. Unless this is the Power Fist. Oh. Does he get picked up?
Doesn't get it.
No, he's going to use Scintillating Legion reroll, I believe. Oh no, there's more attacks coming in. Unless this is the other combat down the bottom into the horrors. So the Demon Prince is still alive on 1 wound right now. I think this is all the attacks going into the blues. It would make sense. Because there weren't as many going into the Demon Prince as there are here going into the horrors. Okay.
Oh, this is absolutely wild, everyone.
Yes, definitely. Yep. That roll was into the... I'm going to rotate this to the other side so we can actually see, guys. Onto the blue horrors that were there.
Alright, so...
Not too many left after they did some things, but there go the brims. Definitely some splits there. And we can see there's still a unit of 6 flamers in that middle spot where the Demon Prince was, ladies and gentlemen. So Matt's still got some decent amount of resources right now, right in there. So now he's getting his attacks back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping those JPIs could get the job done and take that primary away, but, you know.
Yeah.
Pinks be pinks.
Yes, they do. That they do. They just split. And my mate Brent will tell you, they're a pain in the butt to remove. They're a trap for oaths. They're a trap for trying to kill. Like,
yep. I think the only time I managed to one-shot a unit was Spear Guard with a Blade Champ with 4 rerolls. That was the only time I've ever cleared it in one activation.
Yeah, right. Wild. So, I think we're jumping over to turn 4 here. I think we'll get some score updates in a second. I think there was at least 1 cleanse for Callum.
Lieutenant probably did that.
Yep. So we'll get that updated in a second for you guys.
I might mute myself and just hear what they're doing.
Yep. So we are going into turn 4 now, ladies and gentlemen, with about 50 minutes left in the round. Looks like Callum goes up to a CP. Reagan, I definitely agree with that. The thing is, he's only got the 1, so he's denying the amount that Matt has, in a sense, but also not completely, if that makes sense. So by only having the 1, he's not throwing it back, but he's still allowing Matt to generate more, because if his opponent has 1, he still gets more, right? So it's in Callum's best interests to actually be removing them and using them, but maybe he doesn't want to be. Maybe he doesn't want to. So both players are on, just getting the CP input here and getting that all set up correctly. Well, looks both players are on 1. Is what I'm going to say, because that corner dice looks like the CP for both players. And Brad is just going to chuck in those scores for us, which is really appreciated. So, a 4 on cleanse. There was a double cleanse. So maybe it was the way that I called it, killing the Screamer with the heavy bolters and then cleansing with the Spectrus kill team and the Lieutenant in the middle. So Matt scoring another 10 points on primary this turn. Both players just consistently putting up 10. But currently in the secondary game, this is the first turn where Callum hasn't been able to score both his secondaries. So it's going to be interesting to see how Matt can capitalize with behind enemy lines and recover assets. Oof. So behind enemy lines and recover assets for Matt.
Oh, there's not a good draw for what he wants to do at this point in the game, to be honest.
Yep.
He really wanted some kill-based secondaries to try and maximise output and end the game, but he can choose one or the other now. Try to kill Callum or get points. It's a hard call.
Yeah, it definitely is. So even just looking at where positioning is for everything, he does have some units that have got really solid mobility. He didn't have the CP to pick up. This would have been the perfect turn to have something ready to go to pick up and throw. Didn't have the CP for it. So I think he's going to maybe miss behind enemy lines. But with 1 unit, what he might do is he may deep strike or redeploy something. He's measuring something out here. Yep, that's the other thought as well. Dante has just fall back the Demon Prince out of combat there with the JPIs. Get into the deployment zone and just stand there and go, cool.
Yeah. But he will need to take a leadership test on the Demon Prince, and if he fails,
yes,
he still has to desperate escape.
Yes, definitely agree. So seeing some flyover mortals happen onto the Spectrus kill team, I believe, from the Screamers. Yeah, Horizon, it is a tight game. It is a very tight game.
And hopefully we reach an organic conclusion to this match and we don't see anything dictated by the clock. It's never a nice feeling to end a Super Major on that note, but you know, there are clocks for a reason, and different people play it with different intent, so we just have to see how this ends. But hopefully Callum just is planning his turn right now while Matt's
100%,
and he can just execute and focus
focus in as quick as he can. 100% agree, because on the clock he's got 8 minutes.
Yeah, or
that is rough. That is rough. Is that 8 or is that 16?
It's definitely 8. I had a peek when I was out there.
You can zoom it in. Yep, 8 minutes, 34 seconds. Matt's got 23.5 minutes. Yep. And that's actually, they started the clocks early. But, you know, that was their choice.
So we can see with the TOs, like, if they started the round on time and there's 31 minutes left on the clock, there's actually 46 left in the round.
Yep.
So a precedent has been set that any additional time is equally split. So we could see Callum getting a maximum 15 minutes here. If you go if it's 14 difference, add on a 7, 8 plus 7.
15, yeah, it goes up to 15 for both turns. Yep, definitely could. Matt will go up to half an hour, which is possible, very possible. That might be something I will go and raise with them real quick.
Yeah.
And I'll let you have a yarn with chat. So we'll just jump over to this guy and we'll go this camera, so it's just the top down for you.
Beautiful.
So I will be back momentarily, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. We try to not influence any game as much as humanly possible, if at all. While we're streaming, we're here to bring some entertainment and a product to everyone, and it's really the players and the TO's responsibility to govern how the game works, and I think that's a fair sentiment across a lot of the streamers that are evolving with the 40k scene right now. So it looks like those plague bearers are still trying to screen out. They're probably going to do a recover asset, to be honest. At least that's what I would do. I'm not sure if there's anything to Deep Strike. I don't think he picked anything up because he didn't have the CP. So it just might be the home and the no man's land section and just scrape a couple of points there. And Matt's there, what's he do? Moving a chariot out to the centre, trying to force Callum to put some shots, put some damage into that, so he has to dilute his shooting into that, otherwise he's not winning the primary battle either. Thanks, Jay. There's a lot of people here in the same boat. A lot of hobbyists. We had best painted, best presented, hotly contested. But usually some of those don't make the top stream, just with the differences in nature of these players. But yes, the painting and the hobby is a beautiful thing to behold sometimes.
It's definitely 15 minutes.
Sorry.
43 minutes there.
Yeah. Cool. So we've just had word from the head judge at the moment. Because they started put less time on the clock to begin with, they're getting an equal distribution of time added to their respective clocks based on the official round time. So that is a great thing to see, a bit of active judging there, so we can have an organic conclusion to this game. I love to see it. It looks like there might be some sight lines and ranges being measured out at the moment. Maybe Matt wants to shoot through the chariot or shoot through a demon print potentially. Or he might just be measuring screens and some threat ranges. Thanks for subscribing and following Scotty. He does a great job trying to bring the best Australian-based 40k content to everyone here, wherever you're watching. I don't know, maybe drop a comment in chat where you're watching from, whether it's locally here in Adelaide, South Australia, somewhere else in Oz, or maybe even internationally. We'd love to see who's around watching. Yes, Cadia watchers and Cadia stands. I don't care what Abaddon or a Crusade did, they'll live on forever. Looks like some big assets are coming out to play. Matt's done a good job of holding on to them to this point on the game.
and hopefully they can just start coming out to play and threatening. Oh, the US, love to see it. I don't know, I've just watched the LVO stream, I think it was last week. War Games Live, they always do a great job of what they do, so shout out over to there. And I believe as well, in terms of what the big bickies are, what these guys are all playing for is a trip paid for to the US with a golden ticket to the World Championships of Warhammer. So, it's a big prize, $2.5 grand worth of prize money, I think, as well to boot, free flights. So, some real high stakes gaming going on here for a chance to be the new Warhammer World Champion next year as well.
And we've got Scotty back with us, so thanks for putting up with me.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. Hope you guys have been enjoying hanging out with Brad for a bit. But it's been good, so how are things looking?
Soli's had just moved into his shooting phase at the moment,
Okay.
I believe. Demon Prince does not look like it fell back. I don't think it wanted to risk a desperate escape, or if
Fair.
it wanted to mint some JPIs and go on a run.
Yep, that's very fair.
Good call.
What's interesting though, if he does mince the JPIs, would be if he consolidates into the aggressor or not, because then the aggressor will get to strike back into him.
Yes.
And the aggressor is probably the single close combat unit in that region that has the best opportunity of killing it,
That is a
because it
great
is
call.
strength 8 twin linked.
Yeah.
So very simple. It's only got 3 attacks, but can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Demon Prince wants to move. It doesn't have any shooting profiles, does it?
I think it's got like a combi bolter or something along the lines.
Yeah, not enough to
Forge
do
bolter, I think.
JPIs. Yep. And I don't think it wants to make a charge move either, because those dev sense might decide to overwatch that for sure.
Yep, certainly. So just seeing some of the shots. However, did call that we are getting a unit in behind enemy lines territory. We do have a unit of flamers.
There we go.
Getting in there to get some points.
You can only scream for so long, Scotty.
It'll actually be strength 10. Reagan, you are 100% correct. Because it is targeting the closest enemy unit, it gets +2 strength in the Indomitor kill team. Oh my goodness, yes, you are correct. Taking it from winning on 5s to 3s.
Oh, that is a massive break point. I love
That
to
is
see it.
huge. It's actually huge. So yeah, he probably won't consolidate at all. Use the shoot into combat stratagem here. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I remember one of my most disappointing games into Matt Morrisoli down under 40k. I was playing guard at the time. He was on a form of demons, but he had a bloodthirster. This was last edition. There was the shoot into combat strat, and on ones I hit my own dudes or killed my own
gosh.
dudes. All I had to do was kill one Cassican, and I had all my Russes lined up on this.
Oh.
When I want to roll the one, I never rolled a one.
Oh no, that's no good, man. You hate to see it.
Oh, but I don't know, Scotty. How quick do you think the Nerf Hammer bat might come out if we get 2 Deathwatch wins at majors in a row?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see something happen in March.
Yeah,
The Deathwatch.
Honestly, I think Deathwatch should almost be removed as a link to Space Marines and be a standalone codex. It's the only way they can balance
I
it,
think yes, but at the same time they need to give more Deathwatch specific units then.
Yeah.
So, have their own Deathwatch version of, say, Assault Intercessors.
Yeah.
Have their own version of, not necessarily everything the Marine Codex had, because that was what the Codex was like back in, 9th and 8th edition, was that within the Codex, you had a certain number of regular Space Marine units that were just Deathwatch versions of that. So I think that would be the way that GW should do that. Dante?
Oh, you're breaking space.
Oh, brother. brother. No, we just got us back. Please. No.
Limited time only. Conditions apply.
See in store for details. Just round out the bit there.
But speaking of stores, Scotty.
Stores, you're right, if there's a shameless plug.
Go for it.
Alright, so as one of the major sponsors of
Uprising Adelaide and a lot of events around Adelaide, there is Dragon's Lair Hobbies and Gaming, your favourite local gaming store for
Adelaide. So they're in Edwardstown. They'll, get in touch. We ship. We go everywhere you want to go. I don't know, maybe we'll fly something internationally if you really want to. But without, stores like that which sponsor events, there's about $7 grand worth of prizes they're giving out. So, they're doing their bit for the community and really trying to make this, a destination event with real good prizes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. So, Deathwatch can teleport him in and out of Legends with every slate. Oh, Ash, don't say that, please. Please. Not for my sanity, please. I don't want that yo-yo of emotions every 3 months.
Oh, I don't know. I'm going through that yo-yo right now, just in the 3 hours that we've got here.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here, we've seen some stuff getting removed here. The JPIs are gone with the Demon Prince here. We're starting to see some other attacks come in. Oh, goodness me.
Oh, did those flamers just make a charge into the home field?
Yep, they just went into the